Dear listener, thank you for tuning in to my new podcast, Read My Feelings. I'm not sure how you got here, but I'm grateful you're here. Because you are here, I have a new connection. Because you are listening, my thoughts become true. You are free to stop listening at any point. I make only one request of you. Please answer the poll question or leave your own truth in a comment. If you hit subscribe, you can take a chance at building new connections for yourself. That'd be great for you. Today I want to talk about the epiphany that I had some time ago about fear. Well, to add some credibility, I'm a cognitive neuroscientist. I've studied at the Yale School of Medicine and done plenty of lab research and people studies. But it really pissed me off at my therapy session when I got a worksheet on fight or flight. Is that truly all we know about psychology still after all these years? Fight or flight also include freeze and fawn. And it dawned on me that because at the root of everything is fear. My favorite movie, Apocalypto, has a quote that sometimes I just go to encourage myself. In the movie Apocalypto, Flint Sky, the dad, says to Jaguar Paw, his son, "Those people in the forest, what did you see on them? Fear. Deep, rotting fear. They were infected by it. Did you see? Fear is a sickness. It will crawl into the soul of anyone who engages it. It has tainted your peace already." This is one of the most memorable quotes from the movie. And I'd like to challenge today that it is actually what would make the whole theory of mental illness simple. That brings me to the second half of my epiphany on fear. I've been diagnosed many times with PTSD, but no one cares when I say I have photographic memory. Like no one blinks an eye. I read an entire cognitive neuroscience textbook, went to class that night for the exam, and scored the highest. Never even went to class. Like I can remember things on books or like exact conversations, but most importantly, I can remember dreams really well. I remember when I was little, I found a paragraph in my mom's textbook and she read it with me. It was her psych textbook and it was about lucid dreaming. And I remember that being really intriguing, but I didn't practice it. I also remember that not long after that, I ran to my mom's room with a nightmare. I used to have really bad nightmares when I was young, people chasing me or, the falling one where you wake up and the bed hits the floor. But I went to my mom's room and she doesn't coddle me. She's like, go in your dream and you have superpowers, take over, fight them. Like basically, try lucid dreaming. And I went and I did that and I was able to fight them off. And I lucidly dream all the time. So what does that mean? Well, memory, we know in the hippocampus is stored long term when there's something emotionally salient, right? We know that most dreaming happens in REM, rapid eye movement sleep. Like in the higher levels of your sleep, like you'll remember a dream. If you like get woken up right before, the time that you're supposed to wake up, you're more likely to recall it. And if you wake up a subject every time they start dreaming, their brain will replace that percentage of dreaming back. So it's definitely something that's necessary and thought to be useful for consolidating memories and figuring out the experiences of the day. So you really need sleep. Sometimes works better than antidepressants, just upping your sleep. And so I wonder, can we lucidly dream here, awake in real life? Is that what meditation is? Is that what visualization is? I can go in my dream, and after watching YouTubes and research for this podcast, I was also told that you could talk and ask questions. And I did that the other day. I was put in like a bad part of the dream and there was no space for me. And so I asked the guy in the dream, where else I could go. And he leads me to this palatial, beautiful garden with gold gates. And I was like, wow, thank God I asked. And so that's kind of like how you get over fear. You can lucidly dream and realize that you have the power, that you are the actor, that you can call the shots if you just step back from what's not really real. Because if you think about it, everything in this world is just reflected off our eyes or sensory input in our brain. Everything's just an abstraction. No one even sees the same view of this world. And so vision is what other people can't see. So why not just be a visionary so you can do the things you want to? Don't worry about what other people think about you. Don't worry about, all the stressors, because they're always going to be there. But if you can find fulfillment and confidence in just being true to yourself and being you, I feel like that's the peace. That's where fear stops. When you forget about the things that don't matter. This piece is called Forgetting in Fear at Chantal Wrights, Monday, October 9th, 2023. October has a Friday the 13th this year. Same day this rent money is due. Forgetting in fear. I gotta think of a way to get this money by tomorrow. Day, next Friday. Is there a way to do what I need to do even though I'm petrified? I'm scared of even the footsteps above me. Don't matter where I am, I realize in someone else's home or my own, I panic when footsteps approach. In fact, a drawing of my side door at my old house that I used to focus on like a horror movie at bedtime was my creative break. Drawing that door opened me up to the very scared child me behind it. I started to draw more and to brainstorm ways to support that child with many secrets. My purpose is to create an open door to let anyone leave further terror. It's that further terror in a bad situation that paralyzes you. Look at me now. I just set a risky boundary. If you're staying at someone's house, they expect you to talk to them when they say so. They can see you, so it's even worse than someone demanding you text them back. I took the risk because I realized this landlord isn't as crazy as the rest, and that he also doesn't really want to confront me. This is why he's given me all this time, though it's obvious I haven't been going to work all week. It's just still not enough time. It'll never be enough time to get ready to speak to him unless I magically wake up with the money. But really, that's not why it's not enough time. It's not enough time because I'm not emotionally ready to take on his emotions. I can't answer his whens and whys and how I got fired. I didn't want to let him down, and his look of disappointment might break my soul today. I won't let it tomorrow. I listen to Beyonce sing that he won't break my soul on my walk out to think about how to respond to his text to talk. I'm confused, distracted, and overwhelmed with my mind's rambling excuses, hopes, and lack of facts. I don't have a plan, but I also don't have an identity right now. I guess that would be the word. I have no face to present for him or for me that will make either of us feel okay or get to a goal. I need to make calls and make peace with my options. I won't make empty promises. He's not the type I want to exercise my tenants' rights with. I wouldn't let him lock me out today and not call the cops, but I'm definitely not trying to object to his deadline either. He's given me way more than enough time. I could have used my time better, but this must be my best with what I had because it's what I've done. Last night, I had a memory of being snuggled up with Kai listening to a rainstorm in her room. The storms always sounded better in her room, and I wonder if it's because it was smaller acoustics. I think of her storms because the one I'm listening to now has thunder, and I usually skip those. I think her storms had thunder too, and maybe that's what actually makes them better, I think now, laying on the floor where I feel more safe. Sometimes I lay on a pillow next to the door so I can make sure it stays closed all night, and so I can hear footsteps of where the others are in the house. These past 3 nights, earplugs have been heaven sent, but I slept till noon, wasting time. I must have tuned out Kaya's storm in reality because I'd wiped out her memories. I hadn't thought of her room and the fancy wardrobe closet she'd made from the other room. I forgot she had her own bathroom. I forgot our whole house. Last night I tossed and turned on pillows and hardwood, and I really felt the pain of what wasting my money had done. How I ripped it all away, and when she's scared about having nowhere to live, she remembers her loss. Do I remember my loss? Because only last night did I tie the loss of her room to the loss of my house, and my yard to play with my dog, and my car that used to drive us places. I lost the NY job and started taking low-wage jobs down south, the country. I lost my NY swag of wearing wigs and new clothes and being thin. At least that's what I thought attempting to binge The Real Housewives of New York this morning. I also watched Coming to America, and it dawned on me that I forgot I was Prince Akeem, and now believe I'm here to mop floors. So how do I get out? I forgot about time and work towards my future, without fearing I won't make it. I affirm that I am capable. I deserve the best the world has to offer, and I choose my destiny. I started the build for that website for a potential client, but there's no secure money there. I updated my LinkedIn and resume for Indeed. I don't think I can get a job fast enough. But not fast enough is linked to just not fast enough to hold out and work steadily with faith in God. Just not fast enough to avoid the terror of detachment. Just not fast enough to avoid someone stomping on your mustard seed of hope when you're navigating uncertainty. To smash your plant. That's not enough yet. To let your seed grow slowly enough through fear. I'm not petrified. I've paused. Before I read the piece, My Daughter Turns 18 Tomorrow, I'd like to read Exodus 17. Exodus is the second book in the Old Testament, covers Moses freeing the Israelites, and it's always been my favorite, not just because Prince of Egypt is like the best movie ever, my family loves it, but because it's the chapter I imagine gave the slaves hope to get to freedom. When I'm down here down south walking through the woods, especially like when it's just like the sun is about to go down, I realize like how scary that must have been to really run out into those woods. Exodus 17 from the New International Version, titled Water from the Rock. The whole Israelite community set out from the desert of Sin, traveling from place to place as the Lord commanded. They camped at Rephidim, but there was no water for the people to drink. So they quarreled with Moses and said, "Give us water to drink." Moses replied, "Why do you quarrel with me? Why do you put the Lord to the test?" But the people were thirsty for water there, and they grumbled against Moses. They said, "Why did you bring us up out of Egypt to make us and our children and livestock die of thirst?" Then Moses cried out to the Lord, "What am I supposed to do with these people? They are almost ready to stone me." The Lord answered Moses, "Go out in front of the people, talk with you some of the elders of Israel, and take in your hand the staff with which you struck the Nile, and go. I will stand there before you by the rock at Horeb. Strike the rock, and water will come out of it for the people to drink." So Moses did this in the sight of the elders of Israel, and he called the place of Massah and Meribah, because the Israelites quarreled, and because they tested the Lord, saying, "Is the Lord among us or not?" What can we learn from Exodus 17? We learn that God is the one that can help us. We learn that many times reasoning with people or trying to convince them might be pointless. Pray to God for help. We also learn that being a leader or teaching people might not always be easy. My daughter turns 18 tomorrow. At Chantal writes October 22nd, 2022. 10/22/22. I gotta write something because this is big. My daughter turns 18 tomorrow. That's an adult. I've done a good job, and so has she, in raising her. She rides a high vibration, and I do my best to keep it up when it starts to fall. I want so much for her. A YouTube warned me the other night not to hold on to her because I need her. That was a good timing, because earlier when I told her about the airport jobs, she said she would have enough to take over paying for our streaming subscriptions. Even though a state charity grant just paid off all my light and gas debt, I looked greedily for more. I said she could take over a utility bill. When I heard the YouTube, I realized that's a slippery slope to including her and needing her in my core budget. Instead, I will do a dream consult with her and figure out her goal and timeline for housing. Where would she like to live? What's the plan to make it happen? Launch. On TV today, a TV judge warned that a gift that is given and taken away is not a gift, but shackles. Exactly. Self sufficiency is freedom. My sponsor taught me that. Chantel will be self sufficient, not accepting outside funds and donations. The gift should not come with conditions, a lesson my mom shared with me in this lecture by Ram Dass. When I was walking the dog, I thought of so many warnings to give Kaya now that she'll be spending her first birthday midnight outside of the house, outside of my reach. I walked up the hill thinking about whether or not I should tell her to drink. I played it out in two ways. The first, don't drink at all. Everyone else around you needs it to feel loosened up to dance, but you're already lit. 50 Cent talks about the advantage of awareness he has by staying sober at all those big industry events. He sells effing vodka, which is really smooth and grain free, but he was also the first to brand premium vitamin water. Imagine if you could really live an epic life by taking a shortcut. The second argument, you only need one drink. You think you can handle another one, because alcohol takes a long time to creep up on you. I thought of the many times I hung over this cold ceramic of a toilet or lay sprawled on some tiled floor, sick to my stomach from a few shots. You are extra sensitive to alcohol, genetically, so you could quickly develop an addiction. But then I thought of her dad and aunt. Or, you may be able to drink like a fucking fish. Fuck. You may be able to handle your liquor and be a functional alcoholic like that side of the family. But all of this is my attempt to control and influence by reaction. I continued to walk and think about how I needed to get home and write a blog about the experience of my daughter turning 18. At the beginning of the walk, I thought I could just Google what to tell her about going out, like when I looked up separating from her when she was about to leave for college. She was supposed to be at an HBCU right now. She has a room full of amazing items that the family purchased off her Amazon wish list. I taught her the wish list. She executed it. When we come up with the 15K for her to leave, and even a trip to Atlanta with her dad led to naught. She handled it like a G. She's been a G since she was a baby. I could never make her cry. So when my baby does cry, I know she's hurt. She enrolled in community college on her own, and she's going to rock it. She let me know coincidentally after I'd realized the night before that community college was the biggest gift in my life. I'll explain more when the blog's about me. It's about her. Her whole life, she had to constantly remind me it's about her. Her whole life, I screamed, why does it always have to be about her? To be honest, I often imagine my baby was the baby Jesus, and it's my purpose to sacrifice, take pain, for this greatness that will be revealed beyond my dreams. I know my job is not to make her into what I want, but maybe to make sure she wants the right things. I try my best to understand where she's coming from. I remember she asked me if it's weird that she's never had a boyfriend, and I was honest. I didn't really have anyone to pattern a relationship off of, and so I'm pretty awkward with boys and socially overall. I tell her how I chose her father because I knew his strengths complemented my weaknesses. He could show her how to fit in. I show her how to stand out. No matter how much trash we talk, I let her know the birthdays and celebrations that made her life so special originated with her dad. He taught me Christmas should be big and full of presents. He bought her Gucci sandals on her sweet 16th. No matter what, we make her birthday great. This year we don't have hot water. Yet, I'll never be able to deny that hardship. But those cold showers took me to work to get a bag just in time. I slipped $100 in her pocket to get her nails done. I sent her with my debit card like a blank check to self-pay at the renowned dermatologist. She's black and amazing and booked till April, but I made it happen. Her dad pissed her off when he didn't keep his promise to help with her hairstyle, but to avert my character of ungratefulness, I reminded her he got her the newest iPhone yesterday. He did it in revenge to separate from our family phone plan. It's a strong and timely symbol of our separation. All three of us will be self-sufficient. So I came in the house and I exclaimed that this would be the first birthday she spent midnight outside the house. I took off the dog's leash and tried to remember what time after 10 a.m. she was born. I always feel like it's 23, but I know that's just because it matches her birthday. It's probably 29. I tell myself I'll go find her birth certificate tonight and confirm. I keep hers and mine together in a laminated binder insert. Mine is tattered and white with Jamaican immigrant parents. Hers is new in purple and blue. My address is her great-grandmother's house. She was born to a mom in shackles. But I'm free now. Before her dad, I was also free. I was 18. I can't remember exactly how I was. I know I was somewhere between high school and my freshman year at college. I know I didn't have anyone to depend on really, but I also know I learned to party. So I tell her I'm not going to text her happy birthday at midnight, but at her real time of birth because she'll be getting shouted out at the club. Being the loyal daughter that she is, she says no, she'll answer. Insecurely, she says no one will be shouting her out. I tell her her friends should tell the DJ, but then I remembered me at 18. I said, nah, you go up to the DJ and whisper in his ear that it's your birthday today and what song you want to hear. Make sure they know. Yeah, I remember 18 a little. Nowness presents Letters Live. Andrew Scott reads Do by Sol LeWitt.
April 14th, 1965. Dear Eva, it will be almost a month since you wrote to me, and you have possibly forgotten your state of mind. I doubt it, though. You seem the same as always, and being you, hate every minute of it. Don't! Learn to say fuck you to the world once in a while. You have every right to. Just stop thinking, worrying, looking over your shoulder, wondering, doubting, fearing, hurting, hoping for some easy way out, struggling, grasping, confusing, itching, scratching, mumbling, bumbling, grumbling, humbling, stumbling, numbling, rambling, gambling, tumbling, scumbling, scrambling, hitching, hatching, bitching, moaning, groaning, honing, boning, horse shitting, hair splitting, nitpicking, piss trickling, nose sticking, ass gouging, eyeball poking, finger pointing, alleyway sneaking, long waiting, small stepping, evil eyeing, back scratching, searching, perching, besmirching, grinding away at yourself. Just stop it and just do. From your description and from what I know of your previous work and your ability, the work you are doing sounds very good. Drawing, clean, clear but crazy like machines, larger and bolder, real nonsense, that sounds fine. Wonderful. Real nonsense. Do more. More nonsensical, more crazy, more machines, more breasts, penises, cunts, whatever. Make them abound with nonsense. Try and tickle something inside you, your weird humor. You belong in the most secret part of you. Don't worry about cool. Make your own uncool. Make your own world. If you fear, make it work for you. Draw and paint your fear and anxiety, and stop worrying about big, deep things such as to decide on a purpose and way of life, a consistent approach to even some impossible end or even an imagined end. You must practice being stupid, dumb, unthinking, empty. Then you will be able to do. I have much confidence in you, and even though you are tormenting yourself, the work you do is very good. Try to do some bad work. The worst you can think of and see what happens, but mainly, relax. Let everything go to hell. You are not responsible for the world, you are only responsible for your work. So do it. And don't think that your work has to conform to any preconceived form, idea, or flavor. It can be anything you want it to be. But if life would be easier for you if you stopped working, then stop! Don't punish yourself. However, I think that it is so deeply ingrained in you that it would be easier to do. It seems I do understand your attitude somewhat, anyway, because I go through a similar process every so often. I have an agonizing reappraisal of my work and change everything as much as possible and hate everything I've done and try to do something entirely different and better. Maybe that kind of process is necessary to me, pushing me on and on. The feeling that I can do better than that shit I just did. Maybe you need your agony to accomplish what you do. And maybe it goads you on to do better. But it is very painful. I know. It would be better if you had the confidence just to do the stuff and not think about it. Can't you leave the world and art alone and also quit fondling your ego I know that you or anyone can only work so much, and the rest of the time you are left with your thoughts. But when you work or before you work, you have to empty your mind and concentrate on what you are doing. After you do something, it is done, and that is that. After a while, you can see some are better than others, but also you can see what direction you are going. I'm sure you know all that. You also must know that you don't have to justify your work, not even to yourself. Well, you know I admire your work greatly and can't understand why you are so bothered by it. But you can see the next ones and I can't. You must also believe in your ability. I think you do. So try the most outrageous things you can. Shock yourself. You have at your power the ability to do anything.